Hi everybody, welcome. This is a lesson for IXL Grade 9 B1. We're going to talk about add, subtract, multiply, and divide integers. So first of all, what's an integer? An integer is a whole number that includes negative numbers, positive numbers, and zero. For example, negative 23, negative 17, negative 1,234,567. Those are all integers. Positive numbers are numbers like 12, 36, and even big numbers like 1,234,567, and it includes zero. So fractions and decimals are not integers. 1.5 is not an integer, 7 3/8 is not an integer, and 2.35 is not an integer. Okay, so we're going to be multiplying and dividing integers. So when we have the same sign, the result will be positive. So when we have the same sign, the result will be positive. And what that means, a positive times a positive is positive, a negative times a negative is positive, a positive divided by a positive is positive, and a negative divided by a negative is positive. If the sign is different, if you have a positive times a negative, it's negative. If you have a negative times positive, it's negative. A positive divided by a negative is negative, and a negative divided by a positive is negative. Here's how I remember it. That seems like a lot of stuff. This is all I remember. If it's the same sign, it's positive. It's a different sign, it's negative. And that works for multiplying and dividing. Okay, this doesn't work for addition and subtraction, except for when you have a positive plus a positive. A positive plus a positive is positive, and a negative plus a negative is negative. Okay, when you have to be thoughtful when you start to add and subtract positive and negative integers. So what that means is if you have a small positive number plus a big negative number, you're going to get a negative number. For example, if you have 3, which is a small positive number, and then you add negative 20, which is a big negative number, you're going to get a negative answer. If you have a small negative number plus a big positive number, your answer will be positive. For example, negative 4 is a small negative number, and 21 is a big positive number, your answer will be positive. Okay, sometimes you're going to see two signs together, so you might see two plus signs together. That means add. If you see two negative signs together, that also means add. If you see a plus and an add and a subtract, that means subtract. And if you see subtract and add, that means subtract. So let's say, for example, if you have 3 plus positive 4, the answer would be positive 7. If you have 3 subtract negative 4, the answer would be 7, because subtracting a negative means adding. If you have 7 plus negative 3, that gives you 4, because adding a negative means subtract. If you have 8 take away 2, that's 6, and you already know that. Okay, so let's do some examples together on IXL. We'll go to B2. So here we have is a small negative number and a large positive number, so the answer will be positive. Here we have two positive numbers, so we know the answer will be positive. Here we have a positive divided by a negative, so the answer will be negative. And here we have a negative times a negative, so you know the answer will be positive. Okay, that's how the activity is going to look today. So your work is in IXL. Make sure you're in grade 9, B1.